Yeah, hi everyone. So today on this session we are going to discuss about the SAP ECC versus S4HANA. So very trending topic in the market. So I think so most of you are aware of this particular topic is trending now. Okay, so what is the trending topic here? So we are going to discuss that. Okay, so in this session we are going to see in deeper. So regarding what is that SAP ECC? Okay, so how it became very successful previously. Okay, that topic, and secondly how this S4HANA becomes a successor of ECC. So what is the backstory, so we can able to understand that particular part here. Okay, the aspect of this. Okay, so how this ECC in S4HANA becoming a trending topic. Okay, so what is the actual reason why this topic becomes very trending nowadays. Okay, so we are going to see that, and most importantly, so we are going to see the differences between this SAP ECC and S4HANA in terms of features. In terms of features, what will be the difference between this and that? Okay, so we are going to have a very detailed discussion on that part. Okay, so this will be a very valuable session for you, so please listen carefully. Okay, yes, so let's go for it. Yes. Okay, so first of all, what is this SAP ECC? Okay, so this SAP ECC stands for, okay, it is ERP, okay, central component. Okay, it is called as ERP central component here. Okay, yes. So before knowing about this ECC, you have to know one thing. Okay, so we have lot of previous product in ECC, so we are going to see that. Okay, so we are going to see in the architecture, in the upcoming topics we are going to see about the architecture. So that time you will be coming to know that what are the before evolution of products we have in SAP. We can see that. Okay, so this ECC is the first business model. Okay, it is the first business model. Okay, so in SAP it's the first business model in SAP here. Okay, so previously there is no business model in the market, because all other particular okay, what I say, other particular competitors of this SAP are all having the models has been launched. For an example, you can take a normal competitors like Oracle or Microsoft. So they already have the model. Okay, SAP has not having any model till this ECC. The ECC is the first business model it was launched. Means it's a package. We're giving a package to a particular customers. Okay, who is want to implement this particular SAP. Okay, so that is what we are having here in this particular part here. Okay, the ECC became the first business model and one of the very successful product in SAP. How successful? In the sense, almost you can see almost 60% of, okay, 60% of, okay, world SAP customers, okay, so they are still using this ECC. So you can understand that what is the success rate of this, because it was launched in 2000. Okay, so then it was still in the market for almost 15 to 20 years, right? So this 20 years there is no other product is available in SAP to compete with this. So that's the reason ECC became a very successful product in this model scenario here. Okay, so but now, so it cannot be done, because now it cannot be done because in 2015, so we have launched the new product called S4HANA. This is what we are going to study now. So the S4HANA here, so which stands for SAP Business Suite. Okay, or you can take it as a model. Okay, 4, what is this 4? I will just discuss later in the architecture section. We can see that. Okay, high performance. Okay, high performance, okay, analytic, okay, appliance. So in this you have to highlight this particular word called high performance. Okay, this high performance is the actual keyword. So what we can able to promote S4HANA has, it's a very high performance tool. Okay, how it is giving a high performance, what is the technology we are using for that, these all things we can see in the architecture section here. So that time you will understand that what is the technology we are using into that, which technology is lagging in ECC, all these things we will be coming to know that point, right? Yes. Now the question is, okay, so now the ECC is a old product. Okay, so the sale was already stopped. Okay, so ECC sale in the market is completely stopped, so there is no more ECC in the market. Okay, but still SAP has recently announced that, okay, so in 2025, okay, so the ECC is completely, it's going to sunset. So completely we are just making a sunset. Okay, so what we are going to make a sunset is already the sale of ECC has been stopped. Okay, there is no more sale of ECC in the market. If a customer wants to buy SAP, so they want to buy only SAP S4HANA, there is no other choice. Okay, then what they are going to stop in 2025 means very nearby, just 2 years more, right? So what they are going to stop is very simple. They are going to stop all the support activities. Okay? They are giving the supporting the users, right? They are supporting the customers, all the packages, security levels, all these things they are going to stop by 2025. So to promote S4HANA, because S4HANA already in the market, so we have to bring that up, okay, so to the next level, because that is the feature loaded software. So this ECC we want to completely stop. But we cannot stop like that, right? Because already 60% of world SAP customers are still using that particular part. So we have to, okay, so we have to insist them. We have to make them feel that S4HANA is a feature loaded. And what we need to do is we need to make them migrate, okay, from ECC to S4HANA. So this will be the task, okay, so maybe for all the consultants, because 60% of people, okay, 60% of customers to migrate to one version of product to another version of product is not that much of easier. Okay, so within 2 years it's not that much of easier, and also we don't have that much of consultants in the market. Okay, so this is very huge opportunity. It's once in a new moon. Okay, so it never happened again. Okay, so this kind of big product they are going to close and moving to another product. So this is a golden opportunity for all the beginners. Okay, all the beginners who is entering into this parts and now. So this will be very huge opportunity for the next 2 years. Okay, yes. So that is what we are going to have in this S4HANA here. Okay, so this becomes a successor here. So what is the successor point? Okay, so that is a successor point. We can able to see that later. Okay, so we can see that particular later. Okay, yes. So for a glance I can give you that. Okay, for a glance I can give what will be the thing. I can give one sample. Okay, how this ECC, okay, S4HANA becomes a successor of ECC. You will get an idea. Then we can see all the points. Okay, I have all the points. We have to see that one by one. Right, let's get into that. Okay, for an example, so every ERP product, you can take every ERP product. Okay, every ERP product, okay, so needs a database. Okay, every ERP, especially you can take this ECC also, needs a database. Okay, needs a database to have this particular thing. Okay, so the database is the base platform for the ERP to be installed and to use on this particular platform here. Okay, so when ECC was launched, it was the first business model, right? So it was the first business model. Okay, so there will be a lot of gaps. Okay, that time definitely, because when you launch anything new, so there will be a lot of gaps. So what is the gap in this ECC is very simple, because this ECC is a open source. Okay, it is a open source for, okay, for a database. Open source in the sense this ECC part, okay, this ECC software can be installed in any database available in the market. Any third-party database means you can install in Oracle database, or you do it in any particular market. Okay, any market, yeah, whatever the database is available, you can able to install that. So it is the biggest loophole, because it becoming like an Android. See, Android is an open source, right? So anyone can use that one. So it's not like an iPhone, iOS. It is dedicated for iPhone, right? Same case here. So this is one of the biggest loophole here. So the ECC can be open source. So what happened? So this database and all other things becomes a open source. Okay, but in S4HANA we don't have that particular setup here. In S4HANA we didn't take that kind of risk here, because in S4HANA what we made is, okay, S4HANA can be, okay, used only in HANA database. So we have a dedicated database for S4HANA. So only on that database this S4HANA can be installed and it can be used. Okay, so it cannot be used by any third-party database, because it's not like that, right? So I'm having my software. I cannot allow that software to run on my competitor's platform. For example, Oracle is my competitor. He is giving a database. I'm installing my software into that. Okay, it is not the right way. So we should have our brand value. So this S4HANA is standing on that particular value. So we can have that particular thing here. Okay, so this kind of different features we have, this kind of different things makes this S4HANA more powerful. And also we have a lot of new technologies has been included in this one that we can see later. So first we can see the comparison. Okay, so what are the major comparison and difference between this ECC and S4HANA? So you will get the clarity, right? Yes. So get into this. Okay, so get into this. Okay, so you can get a clarity here. Okay, so get into this part. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I hope you can able to see my screen, right? Yes. So what we are going to have is, so we are going to have the key difference between the SAP ECC and S4HANA. So most of the people will have this query. Okay, so because now the people are entering into learning this SAP, right? So they will be having a doubt. So whether I need to learn ECC first, then I want to come into S4HANA, or else I can directly come into an S4HANA, I can able to learn. So that clarity I'll just give you now very simply. Okay, so this SAP is a common platform. Okay, SAP platform is common. Like that, for an example, if you take a best example, iPhone. So if you take iPhone, so iPhone platform is same. So every year they're launching a new product, in the sense it's an upgradation. It's an adding of features. It's a loading of features. Okay, everything is keep on updating. It means that, okay, so you have to buy, for an example, if you're going to buy an iPhone, you should not that currently it is 14 Pro, right? So first you want to use the iPhone 6s, then you want to use 7s, then 8s, then you have to come for this. It is not required. It is not required, right? So you have to take a latest one and you can work on that. See, anything is same, because the platform is same, the working principle is same. Only thing is the feature is loaded up. Okay, so for that reason, so don't go with this one. So don't have this kind of thing, because a lot of people will confuse you. So don't confuse on this particular part. Okay, right. Okay, so now coming into the part. Okay, so what are the difference I just highlighted here, so we can see that in detail. Okay, so try to understand that. Okay, you will get a detailed clarity on this. So most of the interviews, they will be asking the questions. First of all, what is the difference between ECC and S4HANA? You know about that. This will be the first question they will be shooting out from you. Okay, yes. Okay, the first thing you can see here in the database area. Okay, so you can see the database area. So where you can see, I just given the ECC just now, I just shown you, right, that ECC can be installed in any database. Okay, it can be available for any database. You can use in any kind of database available in the third party market. So that is one of the gap we had in ECC. But in S4HANA, we don't have that gap. What we have is, so only we can able to use this HANA database. This HANA database is a very powerful database. There are a lot of technologies has been included here. Okay, so we are going to see that. Okay, so for an example, we have in-memory database technology, we have RAM-based memory technology, and also we are going to have the column-based memory technology. That all things, when you understand, when you enter into the system, okay, so then only you can able to understand that particular part, or else you cannot able to understand here. Okay, so we can enter into the system, then we can see all other things, so that will give the clarity. Okay, so now you can just clearly understand what this is. Okay, then you can able to get that very clearly. Okay, yes. So now coming to this database. Okay, so now you will be getting this point here. Okay, so now coming into the tables. What is this tables all about? Okay, what is this table about? So as a beginner, you will be confused with these tables. I'll just give the clarity, don't worry about that. See all the tables. Okay, so we are saying the database, right? We are saying about the database and all other things, what the database and all other things will do. For an example, whenever I'm going to store this information, okay, whenever I'm storing some information, whenever I want to store this information here, okay, into the database, I can able to store in the form of tables and fields. Okay, I will be having in the form of tables and fields. Okay, so whatever I store in this particular database, it will be in the table and fields. For an example, you can take an example. Okay, I'll just take an example here. Okay, so you can take an example. Okay, so for an example, so you're going to learn about the MM part, right? For an example, we are going to store the information. Okay, information. Okay, so about a vendor. Okay, so the vendor will have a table. Okay, so vendor information can have one dedicated table, and what all the information you are going to store in the table will be in the field. For an example, so name of the vendor. Okay, so address of the vendor. Okay, so email of the vendor. These all things are called as the fields. So one table can consist of multiple fields, okay, to store this information. Okay, so this is how it will be formed. Okay, this is how the system will store the information. Okay, so there will be a table for each and every particular information you are storing in this particular system. Okay, for that, each and every table we will be having multiple fields into that. Okay, so what will happen? So in this table, so we can able to store this information like that. Okay, so that is what I mentioned here. Okay, you can clearly see here. Okay, so you can see here. So ECC is having multiple tables and aggregate tables here. Means we have lot of tables available in the system. So what happens if you have lot of tables? When you are asking some information to the system, or you are going to store some information in the system, what will happen? So we have to go through lot of tables and lot of fields to be there. So means you can see like so thousands of cars has been parked in one area. Means you want to find 10 cars, means how difficult it is. So that is the difficulty here we have in ECC to find, because there are multiple tables. So unnecessarily multiple tables has been there for storing some informations. But in S4HANA we don't have like that. We have some compressed way. Now totally we have compressed the tables, and we are just saying as a universal journal. Especially you can see in finance. Okay, in the finance they have given us a universal journal. So means, so one particular universal journal, one particular table can able to store maximum details like that. And almost for the logistics also, we have reduced maximum number of tables. We have reduced. And one more important topic about this is the ECC will work based on the row based, and the S4HANA will work on the column based. Okay, how that will work is, for an example, okay, I'll just take a glance. Okay, so try to understand here. Okay, so for an example, okay, if you take an example like this, okay, yes, if you take an example, okay, so you can take an example here. Okay, so for an example, normally the row is this one. Okay, so this is a row. Okay, so all the information will be stored in the row wise. So what will happen? So if I ask any information into the system will go like that. Okay, the system will go like that, and he will again, it will go like this, and again it will go like this. Okay, again it will go like this. So just feel the reality. Okay, just feel the reality. So if you are walking in this way, you want to find the information. So here one information is there, here one information, here one information. In the sense you want to walk in this area and you want to fetch it. Okay, so how difficult it is if you go with this column tables. For example, you have around 1 lakh or 1 lakh rows here. So what will happen? Okay, so this is how the ECC has been taken. So the row wise memory only, the row wise tables, the information we are storing here. So same way we are going into the S4HANA. What is the advantages? We are going in a column based. For an example, we are taking this way. So the S4HANA will travel in this way. So the S4HANA will travel in this way. Okay, it will travel in this way. So what will happen? On the way we can able to scan this one. So when it is traveling on this way, so I didn't go inside this all these things, I will just travel in this way. I can able to fetch this. Okay, I can able to fetch this. So I can able to fetch this. So I can able to fetch this. So my work is very easy. I'm not taking that much of time consuming here. Okay, because the tables and all other things are constructed based on this. Okay, yes, we can see that. Okay, when we see into the session, we can able to see that particular thing into the table also. Okay, for your better understanding. Okay, right. So now coming back. Okay, so the table is clear now. Okay, so we have lot of multiple unwanted tables in ECC. So we have restricted maximum number of tables in S4HANA to improve the speed and performance. Okay, right. And coming to the most important thing is, okay, so in ECC the migration tools. Why this migration tools is very important is because just now we have seen a topic, right? The ECC has to migrate to S4HANA. So migration means, so it's like vacating a house. Okay, so we are currently available in a rental house now. So we want to vacate and we need to move to a new house. In the sense, what we will do, we will vacate all our things and we will go to a new place, right? Same thing, the migration is same. So from ECC, the customer is using ECC now. So they want to migrate into S4HANA. What is the call? So they want to vacate all the things from this ECC and they want to migrate to that one. So this cannot be done that much of easily, right? So there is a tool required to handle that thing. That kind of tool is available. I just mentioned here. So what is the tool we are using in ECC normally for the migration is LSNW. Okay, LSNW, this stands for Legacy System Migration Workbench. Okay, Legacy System Migration Workbench. This is the tool we are using for this ECC here. So what is the disadvantage on this particular LSNW is because it consists of almost 14 to 15 steps. So you need to, every time you need to do some 14 to 15 steps to create one template. For an example, what will be you migrate? So you will be migrating the data, right? So you will be migrating the data. You will be having the master data, you will be having the transactions, all these things. For an example, if you take MM, so the main master data is a material master. So material master is one of the key master data, okay, for the MM here. So if you want to migrate that material master to another particular version or S4HANA, so you want to prepare a template for that, for migrating that. So because you need to feed all the information into the template, then only you can able to do that. For an example, just think like that, okay. So just I will show you this again, okay. So just for example, you can see, okay, so for migration, for an example, from ECC, here you can see the ECC, and here you have S4HANA for an example. So here what we need to do, you have to run the LSNW, you have to create a template. First you need to create a template. Then what we need to do, this template needs to be filled again, okay. So this need to be filled by the users. This need to be filled and it needs to be migrated to the next level, like that, okay. This is what normally it will be happening here. Okay, this is what normally it will happen, okay. So if we use LSNW, same thing, this is for LSNW, okay, this is for LSNW, same thing, we are using a LTMC here, okay. This LTMC, this is the tool which is available for S4HANA, a dedicated primary tool for migration. We have his LTMC here. This stands for Legacy Transformation Migration Cockpit. Okay, so Legacy Transformation Migration Cockpit. This is the tool we are using dedicatedly for S4HANA. So in this, what we can do is, again, from ECC to S4HANA, if you want to migrate a particular metal master, for an example, so this template, right, we have to prepare a template. Okay, actually we just stopped here only. Okay, here where we are just facing issue. First we need to create a template that needs around 15 steps to be done. Then only we will get a template and we will take some time. Okay, that is what normally we do. But in this LTMC, what will be the benefit is, okay, so in this LTMC, this template is already, it is been available. Already it is been available in the default system. So what you need to do, so just get into this LTMC and you can download this particular template here directly you can download this template. And what you can do, you can give this particular template to the users, so users can fill it very easily. Okay, so they can fill very easily and you can get the filled format, right? In this thing, what we can do, directly you can upload, that's it. So you can download the template and fill the content and upload the template. See, the work is very easy. So this is the template, this is the system what we are using in S4HANA. Now you can compare how much advanced we have between this ECC and S4HANA. Okay, yes. So these all things, okay, so we have in this particular features. Okay, right. So coming to the next part, okay, so coming to the next part regarding the master data. Regarding the master data, what will be the major differences? You can see the ECC is having the customer, vendor, masters. For example, normally any company, you can have a vendor master, customer master to store the information separately. Okay, so in ECC also we have the same thing, the customer separately, the vendor separately. But in S4HANA, we don't have the customer and vendor separately. It is a centralized model we are approaching that. It is called as a business partner. One of the key features in, okay, S4HANA, especially for MM, we are having this particular thing called business partner. Okay, in this business partner, it's a centralized solution. Okay, it's a centralized solution here where you can able to create a customer or vendor or employee or individual person or a dealer, whatever the partners who is associated with the business, you can able to create that as a, okay, so business partner here. Okay, this is one of the key features which is added up here. Okay, so no more customer, no more customer vendor separately we need to create. So one page centralized solution where we can able to create all these things. This we're going to have here. Okay, yes. And the next difference is, okay, so you have a user interface. What is the difference between the user interface? User interface in the sense, what is the tool we are using to operate SAP? Very simple. So we have different tools. So what is the tool we are using for interfacing to connect with SAP? Okay, yes, we are not connecting directly to the server. We are not sitting with the server. The server will be somewhere available. So we are connecting from somewhere. So a tool is working in between to connect the interface. For an example, in this ECC, you can able to see the GUI. GUI is the primary tool we are going to have this one. Okay, I'll just explain you in the navigation. Don't worry about that. In the navigation part, I will just explain you about the GUI very detailedly. We can see that. So GUI stands for, it is graphical user interface. It is one of the very powerful tool used in the ECC as a primary tool. We don't have any tool that time. We have only the GUI as a primary tool. But in S4HANA, we have two tools. The GUI also we have, but the GUI we are using as a secondary tool. The first primary tool we are using as a Fiori apps. It is called as Fiori applications. Okay, it is a web-based app. Okay, you don't need to install anything or something. Okay, it is directly a web-based app, so you can directly work with an web. Okay, so you don't need to install this setup also. At least this GUI, you need to install the tool into your system and you can use. But this Fiori, you don't need to install anything. So this will be considered as a primary using for this particular S4HANA here, and for the secondary usage, we are using this GUI. But mostly for the consultants, okay, the consultant based thing, so they will be using the secondary. For the end user point of view, the Fiori can be better. Okay, yes. And the next one is a material ledger. Okay, so this is one option which is very popular, especially for the financial costings. Okay, for an example, whatever happens to our material, okay, we will do a material, we do any transaction, or we bring any kind of material into the factory, or we consume that material, whatever happens, okay, whatever that material happens, that particular transparency of a material can be get from this material ledger. The complete transparency of a material, or else we will not get the transparency, how much actually we have used this material, how much actually the cost has happened, we will not get that. So that particular material ledger option in ECC is optional. So we don't have any option in that ECC regarding a material ledger option, but in S4HANA it is mandatory. In S4HANA, we strongly believe that this gives some good option for the users. So material ledger we are making as mandatory. So the complete transparency of a material, you can get it. Any user, anyone can able to see the complete transparency of a material transaction and actuals, everything completely. Okay, yes. And finally, the final point, so what we are going to discuss about here is the warehouse management here. Okay, so in warehouse, in ECC, you can take, it is called as a warehouse management. It's a sister concern of MM. So what you're going to learn the MM, right? So it's a sister concern of MM, warehouse management. So ECC, it is called as a warehouse management. Okay, but in S4HANA, it is called as extended warehouse management. So it is a upgraded one. So in S4HANA, we are using the upgraded one called extended warehouse management. Okay, so this is not included in the MM because it's anyway, it's a sister concern of MM, but we need to get an additional license for this and we need to use for that. Okay, so we don't have any standard package, it will not be available. So in case if you are having a warehouse management, okay, if your company is having a lot of warehouses, you want to manage that warehouses, then you can go and buy this kind of licenses and you can use this one. This is one of the powerful tool here in the extended warehouse management. Okay, so these are the difference. Okay, these are the difference we have between this ECC and S4HANA. Okay, so this is what we need to have it here. So furthermore, we are going to see some detailed information also. So regarding, so the navigation part, regarding the architecture part. Okay, so regarding the other projects, okay, live projects and implementation methodologies, these are things we are going to have it. Okay, so in the nearby session. Okay, so we are going to have in the nearby sessions. Okay, yes. Okay, so I hope this session is very clear for you guys. Okay, so I think you will be getting some values based on this. Okay, yes. So this is all about the SAP ECC versus S4HANA, the difference here. So we can see some more differences. Okay, so in technically when we go into the system, we can see on the flow. So that will be very easy for you to understand. Okay, yes. So that's all for the session today. Okay, so we can see on the next session. Okay, so yes, thank you so much. Thank you.